there is little known of her history. She was a shy, bookish young woman who found the company of men taxing and disorienting. That is, until she met a learned rector by the name of Patrick Bronte, with whom she fell in immediate love and proceeded to birth 6 babies in 9 years, which, as one might imagine, left her both exhausted and disillusioned with motherhood and marriage. My mother was no wallflower, however. Her long disappearances, supposedly engaged in religious study, were merely a cover for her true vocation. Maria Branwell was an adventuress, a pirate, a rogue, a searcher of mystic relics, and, some say, a necromancer with considerable skill over life and death itself.
Emily likes to embellish. She's a consummate fabricator. At best, our mother was a necromancer of minor skill.
She battled ghouls and poltergeists every day until a devilish curse slew her before her 40th birthday. Without her protection, her 2 eldest daughters succumbed to the diabolical embrace of death.
The doctor said it was tuberculosis.
After which we were sentenced to imprisonment at Roe Head boarding school. Charlotte was employed as a jailer.
Teacher?
And every day I languished in my studies, day after day, until the Phantom came.
Well, yes, the Phantom.
At which point our true legacy became clear.
What? Please, you are not wild beasts. We must attempt to maintain decorum.
I believe you have abused that violin for enough, Miss Brighton.
I do love the cello, I mean the violin.
And I wish it loved you back. You know, there is wisdom in the strategic retreat from the violin. Do run along now.
Yes, mistress.
When I say run, I do not mean run. I mean walk with purpose.
They're quite coltish this morning.
It's the fall air. It energizes them to a most improper amount. Which reminds me, I wish to speak to you about your sister.
Which one?
You have 2 sisters, Miss Bronte, one of whom is sweet, obedient, and delightful. The other of whom is...
Emily.
Emily. Yes. It is not seemly for a young woman to wander about the countryside like a vagabond.
I know, headmistress.
She pets stray dogs.
She enjoys stray dogs.
I do not enjoy her enjoying dogs.
Of course.
But the real issue is her ongoing feud with Miss Pierce.
Georgina Pierce provokes her. She says the most awful things.
Being a woman is learning to endure both provocation and awful things, Miss Bronte. That is how we get children. Which reminds me to the third thing I wish to speak to you about, your own performance. I do not wish to see you chasing after the children, holding your skirts in your hands like a damsel from an inappropriate play.
Yes.
Has it also come to my attention that you have named the children?
I can explain.
One of whom you have dubbed Drip?
Right. Well...
And another Bouncer?
He's quite bouncy, and Drip does like the same, however.
Boys prefer many things which are bad for them. If a boy were given the choice, he would prick his nose with a snake. Our job as educators is to prevent boys from doing what they would like to do.
Yes,
I say this to you because I am near retirement and looking for a successor.
Oh?
You show remarkable promise, your nicknames notwithstanding. The day may soon arrive and you shall be named headmistress.
I don't know what to say.
Do not gawk. Headmistresses never gawk. Of course, to be suitably prepared for the job, you must be suitably married. I have taken the liberty of writing to your father back in Haworth, and we believe we have found a man that would be adequate for the task.
Adequate? I'm dying to meet this young man.
Remember, Miss Bronte, every soul here is a part of your charge. You must show them the proper light.
No one can hear us. Don't wake the headmistress.
Where are we going?
Why
Why should I explain it to you again, Alice? You weren't listening the first 9 times I told you.
Sorry, I get distracted. Don't shush me, you're not my mother. I shouldn't be here. This puts our immortal souls in jeopardy.
Donna's immortal soul hasn't been in jeopardy since Thomas Wilcott. That settled the matter.
That was a misunderstanding.
Not what I heard.
Less talking, more celebrating. I rescued this from Seamus's room.
You went into Seamus's room?
He wasn't there, you goose.
What is it?
I haven't the slightest idea. But if he likes it, I assume that it is wicked.
Pam, where's your sister? I thought she was going to show us the way.
Show us the way where? She said she would be here. If this is Emily's idea, I don't want to do it. I am certain she is most truly wicked.
I thought I was wicked, more than you.
We needn't wait for her. She'd probably make us listen to some hideous ghost story or wretched tale of her childhood. Not you, Anne. You're fine and you don't trouble us. I always think best to keep silent about past misfortunes.
Like your family misfortune?
My family misfortune is no business of yours, Alice.
It's best if you can't remember your mother.
Your mother isn't even dead.
But she could be one day, and then how sad will I be? I think it's preferable to have her dead before I can remember. Then I shan't be sad about it in the future. Boom! Ah!
You scared me half to death!
Are we all here then?
Yes, we were waiting on you.
Then wait no further. Here I am.
I wasn't sure you'd appear after you stormed out of dinner.
Are we going to discuss the menu, or are we going to experiment with this?
Be my guest.
It is rich.
What is it?
I'm not sure it is meant to be drunk at all, to be honest.
All right then. Follow me.
Emily, it must be some disaster.
There's nothing to worry about, dear sister.
Charlotte would not approve.
It's a good thing I don't see her anywhere.
I hate graveyards.
Are you ready for the tale?
I told you there's a macabre story at the heart of this.
I hope it's truly horrifying.
Oh, it is. You see, Rowhead was not always a school for impeccable young ladies with respectable moral character. It was once the home of a cruel and wicked man. His eyes were black as night.
How does she know this?
Shh. And he had a great fortune which he squandered through gambling and drink.
He sounds perfect.
Every day he woke and endeavored to end his life. But he didn't have the courage. Some say he sealed himself in what little fortune was left inside a wall, alive.
Is he still alive?
He was shut in a wall, dear, 50 years ago.
Oh, but if you look closely at the space reserved for his grave, you'll see. What is that? He's standing wide, he's standing in the dark! I'm Emily Bradford, this is your doing, ain't it? Wicked and constant girl, she-devil of the moors! I'll set the evil eye on you, that's what I'll do!
You think he's gone? Where did everyone else go?
He's going to tell the headmistress!
And tell her what? That he was out in the cemetery at midnight searching for his spirits? I think not. I think... Do you feel that?
Feel what?
I feel a chill.
Oh, I'm frightened.
You don't think? Trespassers! Interlopers! I claim my ancient rights! I walk in death! I bring you calamity in the world! It's a phantom! All of my days, 2 days hence, and I shall suck up your blood! Your heart will wither in your chest. Your teeth will rot from your jaws. Mine blind! All that I see I shall blind!
We cannot even be certain of what it was. I saw it, Charlotte. It was a phantom. What means whatever you on about?
Mother's relics. We can do something about this.
We're seriously not suggesting that we engage in dark magic to
It's
ascertain.
not dark magic. You should know that.
I forbid it. So we should do nothing whilst the children get terrified by the phantom at the school? I see no one who is terrorized except a few girls who should have been fast asleep. Perhaps the phantom appeared because you were mischievous and saucy. I think Mother would want us to try something. I think you do not remember our mother, that is all. And what is this? Is this what you do at your dinner? Collecting your room like a scrounger?
I was hoping to entice some stray dogs to eat it, but they were quite sensible and refused.
Enough! This conversation is over. No more talk about phantoms, no more wandering the countryside, and no more stray dogs. Surely that is what you saw in the middle of the night. Dogs don't speak! Ugh.
So that's that. That is most certainly not that. I have an idea.
Is it likely to get us killed?
Oh, definitely not. Probably not. I have no idea, honestly.
Come on, it's time for bed. Don't struck me!
No, I didn't! I'm so live!
Who's the liar? Is anyone bleeding? No? Then shake hands and make up.
I wouldn't shake hands with him if he were the last boy on earth. Why would we learn Latin? Latin is dead.
Latin is a language of culture.
It is dead culture. All the Latins are dead.
I do not believe that is true, Marshall. If that were to be true, Bouncer, you have 2 feet. You're on the ground.
But if I keep both feet on the ground, I can't move. So there, teacher is stupid.
Oh, you're not a frog. Stop hopping. I will put lead in your shoes if I must.
Eat me again.
No, I didn't. Come on, off to bed. Is it time? I feel horrible we haven't included Charlotte in this. Perhaps someday we should speak to our mother this way.
I hope to.
You hate it here, don't you? I like the lessons, sometimes, and the other girls.
I feel as if my soul has been placed into a vice. They crank and hope to churn out some acceptable shape. Every day here they try to crush me. Miss Woolton, the other girls, even Charlotte. Why can't I go where my spirit takes me?
But that's the way of the world, isn't it? You can't spend your life locked in your room writing imaginary stories from imaginary kingdoms. Do you remember our mother?
She was ill for a long time. She was a hearth fire, spluttering and about to go out. So what we do, Anne, is attempt to fulfill what she could not. Let's begin.
I'm frightened.
Deep breaths. Spirit, we reach out to you.
Hello?
You need to be more formal.
Spirit, I am dreadfully sorry I upset your rest yesterday. It was not my fault. It was the other girl.
We wish to communicate with you. Come before us.
But not in a scary way, please.
Hear us. Hear us. Spirit, are you with us?
I think it's working.
Spirit, assume glance of shame. Have you joined us? Someone is here. I feel a presence.
It's coming from over there.
Spirit, can you hear us?
It's coming from the meat pudding.
It's very dark.
You were the one who suggested it take a pleasing shape, and I must say
But I did saw Robert with 3 years once. Highly disturbing. When I was alive. Now I'm dead.
Who were you in life?
Name's Jacoby. I love peas. Grew crops. The soil's quite poor, so it was a difficult life. I remember a lot of weeds.
Oh dear, we may have contacted the wrong spirit.
Such a bad?
Thank you for your visit, Mr. Jacoby. We no longer require you. We seem to have contacted you in error.
I understand. Don't want to talk to me. I'm not what you would call interested. Just go home, Jacoby. No one wants to hear your stories about the weather. I once got hit with a hailstone so large it knocked an eye out of my head.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Jacoby. Please go home.
Of course. How do I do that?
One moment. Do you have any thoughts?
How should I know? This was your idea.
I could bury him,
And throw him in the rubbish?
or I could feed him to a dog. I lied earlier. The dogs do love the meat pudding. They would be most pleased.
But what if he doesn't die?
He's already dead.
What I mean is, what if he continues to exist inside the dog?
Oh.
And then what if he moves outside of the dog?
Oh.
You would have a talking poo.
I'm still here, you know. I can hear you, even though I don't have ears.
Right. Problem solved?
Now what?
I have another idea.
And then I started weeping, right there with the violin. Poor thing. The notes seemed to transform themselves into shrieking ghosts. And Mistress thought I was crying because of my failure to produce music.
Perhaps the best way to get the most restful sleep is to think of your lessons. Whenever I think of that, I get the most restful sleep.
Donna, I can't go on like this. What if I fall ill? What if they send me home? I cannot bear to go home and face my father.
It's okay. No more visiting graveyards.
There's nothing to be afraid of. When I was little, I once saw a ghost. Afterwards, everyone told me it was an owl. But I think of owls. Only if you're a mouse, you're scared of them. Because they can come out of nowhere, rip off your head.
Is this digression supposed to make me feel better?
There are many things one ought to be afraid of. We shouldn't add more. Besides, if the phantom comes back, I will fight it to protect you.
You? Fight it?
Oh yes. I will yell and throw things. We are not mice.
This is a fine sight. Be gentle, Georgina. Elizabeth is suffering from her encounter with the phantom. I was there too. You don't see me blubbering like an idiot. Your family has no money. You're used to seeing horrible things. I'm sorry, that was not kind. Your mouth gets ahead of your mind sometimes, Donna. It was terrible, wasn't it? And what if it comes back? What if it isn't limited to the cemetery? What if it takes to haunting our rooms at night? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Then we shall fight like soldiers. We shall do no such thing. I will tell the headmistress. Someone needs to do something.
Son, you waiting for Wadsworth? Please, call me George. I hope we shall become very, very intimate with each other, as in best friends, as in friendly, not in the other sense. May I refer to you as Charlotte, I suppose. Excellent. I must say, the portrait I received of you did not do justice to your immense beauty. You received a portrait of me? And your brother sent it. A sketch, really. He's most talented. It was quite small, and you are quite large. I mean, casual. You are much bigger than how he portrayed you, which is good, which is wonderful. I wouldn't want to marry a leprechaun. Are you suggesting that you initially believed that the portrait that my brother made of me was meant to be life-size? I'm merely flabbergasted by your beauty. Shall I recite a poem I've composed for you? I'd rather you did it. So, tell me about yourself. My mother is dead. I'm sorry to hear that. As is my eldest sister. Quite sad. As is another sister. Yes. Well, I suppose we should talk about something else then. What is your family like? Mostly dead as well. I do have one sister whom I care for very much, even though she can be quite disagreeable.
Oh, it seems we have something in common.
Are you hoping to become headmistress someday? Whatever gave you that impression? It's in the air. So you do not mean to become headmistress.
I am 19 years old, Mr. Wadsworth. I have not yet resigned myself to a life of education. Small children drive me mad.
That sounds dreadful. Well, I'm a progressive man, and I believe a woman may enter any occupation she chooses, whether that's education or owning a small bakery. If we were to become engaged, I would not forbid you from becoming headmistress, even though many men would.
Mr. Wadsworth, we had just met 7 minutes ago. Are you already proposing marriage?
Have you heard of Romeo and Juliet?
They both died.
Yes, that's not a great example.
Romeo and Juliet is a fine example. When one chooses a mate too hastily, one is doomed to murdering their relatives, drinking poison, and stabbing.
I confess I've not read Romeo and Juliet.
Is this him?
Hello, I'm George Wadsworth. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
What are you doing here?
And I am Emily Bronte, Charlotte's sister and confidant.
Emily, you are not needed.
Would that were true, dear sister. However, I have recently made progress on that thing we were working on, and I require something that belongs to our late mother. I'll just be a moment, then you may continue with your...
Dating!
Yes, wonderful. I am not here, do not mind me.
I thought we might go for a carriage ride in the country.
If you see some stray dogs, pet them for me.
Call me Mr. Wadsworth. George!
What is it that you're looking for?
I am retrieving an object, sister. Never mind. You can help us, you know. Participate? Fine then. Charlotte was just mentioning how much she enjoys the open air and smells of the nearby farms. I am off. Good night.
I hope we shall smell many things this evening. If that seems untoward, I apologize. We shall smell nothing. Or only things we wish to smell. Flowers! I have flowers! They have suffered somewhat in the journey here.
I appreciate the efforts. Results notwithstanding.
Right. Your sister seems an odd duck.
We're all odd ducks. I hope that won't be an issue for you.
Not at all. Shall we? Now, I must warn you, my carriage is meager at best, and my horse is known to be cantankerous. You shall need to keep a tight grip on the rails lest you be tossed into the dirt.
Did you retrieve them?
It was hardly a challenge. Charlotte's suitor was there.
Was he handsome?
I did not have time to consider such things. Here it goes.
Do you see anything unusual?
Oh!
Hello.
I forgot you were still here.
Nice day, isn't it? Couldn't really tell as I was shut up in a bowl of some kind. Now what was I saying? Oh, my peas, my pride and joy. I find a good pea is sweet and has a good snap to it.
Mr. Jacoby, you're talking to Mr. Jacoby? You should apologize to him for throwing him to eternal torment.
I am handling this, Anne.
I told my first wife that I loved peas more than her. That's how I got my second wife.
Yes, wonderful. Mr. Jacoby, we're on the hunt for a phantom of some sort, an angry spirit.
I don't see no angry spirits around here. I've just been making peas.
I'm not quite sure. What does he say? He's just rambling about peas.
Of course, it was all farms back in those days. The Pierces used to work for this here land. It was all their farm.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess let's go to dinner. I guess.
Oh, we were about to dine without you.
I was hoping they wouldn't come.
Mrs. O'Donnell, though it may be desired, it is rude to hope a dinner companion won't arrive.
But she's not a companion, though.
Emily, are you feeling well? Yes, thank you. And you? Elizabeth is greatly agitated.
No one is agitated. Everyone is well.
Yes, headmistress. Is Miss Bronte joining us?
She is indisposed this evening.
She has a taste.
I hear he's stunning, like a Greek god.
I said no
Greek
such thing.
We will not be discussing Mrs. Bronte's date, except to say that I'm sure she is composing herself with dignity and character. As will you, should the day come when you shall be courted by a man. In the meanwhile, no one should be thinking about Greek gods or anything Greek for that matter. Far too decent and pleasant.
She's a fat one, all right. Slaughtered her myself. Caught her stealing from me and took me revenge. Real naughty like.
Perhaps you should tell us what she was trying to steal.
They're birds, all right. Naughty birds that ought not be stealing.
That'll be enough, Seamus.
You want the headmistress here, girl?
That will be enough, Seamus.
Of course, ma'am. He seems disturbed this evening. Yes, that does seem like it. Why do you suppose that is?
No idea.
What do you think it is, Elizabeth?
I don't know anything.
Well,
I was murdered! Murdered? A bitch that was stolen, natural murder! But man is my enemy, my chicks are motherless! I demand justice!
Miss Bronte, such a display.
I have to go.
I can have her portion, yes?
Yes. Since I don't suppose she's coming back.
Don't, it's all right. My name's Emily.
I don't care what your name is. It's rude to speak up on one like that.
Who are you?
I am none of your concern.
Do you haunt the school?
This is a school?
Yes, and there's a phantom haunting it. Perhaps that phantom is you.
Because I am a ghost. But I'm no phantom.
I fail to see the difference.
Because you are both rude and stupid.
You are the rude one. Perhaps I shall trap you. I have entombed the soul of Mr. Jacoby in meat pudding. Do you know him? He's fond of peas.
Jacoby was before my time, so to speak.
You are more recently dead then?
I am beyond the need to answer questions from a pretty girl.
Pretty?
You ruin it by being both rude and impertinent.
I apologize. I am hoping to discover the identity of who or what is haunting the school. If it is you and you are merely pretending not to be the phantom, please tell me what I may do to placate you.
Stand on your head.
Very well. I often stood on my head as a small child.
That explains a lot.
If you insult me, I won't do it.
It wasn't an insult, it was merely an observation. Standing on one's head can impede blood flow to the brain and cause all sorts of conditions, many of which are being exemplified by you. You can't do it. I can't believe you can't do it.
You are a naughty spirit.
I'll do as I promised. I won't haunt the school. I have better things to do with my time.
Like tricking girls.
Exactly. Emily was your name, yes? Why would a spirit choose to torment you? The living world is of no business of mine. I perceive it as though it were a dream. Sun rises and sets and flows through me if I were water. Why would any spirit want to torment you? Don't pout. When was the last time you stood on your head? You had fun. Perhaps it'll lend you a different perspective.
Who are you?
My name's Cliff. I was a boy in this house.
And you are buried here?
I am.
Will you help me?
If I do, will you come back to talk to me and stand on your head?
No.
Just talk then.
Very well.
You there! I spot you, all right?
It appears you've been spotted.
So it seems. I shall see you soon, Cliff.
out and about again like a regular vagabond, aren't you?
I was doing no such thing. I was getting some night air after witnessing a crime.
What are you talking about?
The goose, Mr. Seamus, the goose. Tell me, where are her chicks?
None of your business.
You have struck down their mother and cruelly orphaned the chicks, and now you hope to possess them for your own.
They're chicks!
And they are deserving of love and care. I insist you deliver them to me at once.
I'll do no such thing, you wayward girl. I'll bring you to the headmistress and she'll whip you within an inch of your awful life.
Seamus!
What are you doing?
Miss Bronte, I found this wicked, unprincipled girl.
My sister?
Yes, she was up to no good.
And you found it necessary to manhandle her as if she were a pickpocket? My sister has a delicate constitution. She's extremely sensitive. It's true. And requires fresh air for the maintenance of her health of a bloom.
I cannot bloom without it.
Do go in and retire for the evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and Seamus, I will require those chicks in the morning for my healthful bloom.
Miss Bronte, that was most enchanting.
Yes, well,
I can see your authority and character are quite suited for your future profession.
yes. Mr. Wadsworth, it was a not so unpleasant journey with you this evening.
Excellent.
However, I am fatigued, and I fear I am much too bruised from the constant jolting of your carriage. I shall wish you a good night.
Good night. If you have time for the poem.
No.
Good night. Sweet Charlotte, my heart is full of Charlotte.
I said no poetry! Perhaps some gratitude is in order.
For rescuing me from Seamus, as if I can handle that brute. If I have a delicate constitution, I certainly shouldn't be hunting the phantom.
You're doing what? No one has seen this phantom except for Ed and a few excitable girls. There's no evidence that it exists. It's just a mere figment of imagination. A bit of childish nonsense that has gone too far. By the morning, it will be gone and we will resume as normal.
I have something to confess, as does Elizabeth.
I have nothing to say.
Well, girl, what is it? Speak up.
We saw something.
Stop it, you're scaring her.
I don't care. The truth is what? We saw something in the cemetery at night.
I think it was a spirit.
Spirit, what nonsense is this? What were you doing out at the cemetery at night?
It was Emily. She forced us to go.
No, she did not.
Anne is defending her because she is her sister. Emily is most wicked.
She stole a bottle from Seamus and forced us to drink it. I spat it out because it was most foul. But Emily tossed the bottle into the graveyard.
She roused something.
You are liars. You are all liars.
But you saw it too. You saw Elizabeth. Tell the headmistress.
Well, girl, did you see this spirit?
There was a phantom. It cursed us.
Phantom? Have you all gone mad? There's no... Did you just shush me, girl? I will batter your head like a drum.
Do you feel that? I feel cold.
I do too.
One day has passed. One more remains. My dead eye will see your evisceration. I am the phantom. I am nightmare made flesh. Trespass and feel my wrath.
me put your trousers back on! No,
Is Jupiter going to die?
no, it is not true, Margot. But at some point in the future, we all will die. But eventually, Thomas, a gentleman does not remove his trousers in public! What about my shirt on my leg?
What is the only thing giving my life meaning is bouncing?
I'm sorry, my dear. You're merely an object. I am flustered. So when we're going to die. Yes, I know, dear. Because it's wet.
And because we're going to die?
No, letters have been written home to your guardians, appeasing them of the situation. We shall have a moment of hiatus, and then we'll resume classes to normal. If we're not dead. Yes, if we're not dead.
I heard the older girl saying that a wicked spirit was going to eat us. That's why we're going home.
Miss Bronte, when one is confronting chaos, one must be a beacon of order.
I know, headmistress.
Which brings me to the subject of your sister.
Emily.
Yes, Emily. I believe she is the root of this current contagion.
Surely not.
You must admit that she conducts herself in the most unladylike manners. Plus, both Georgina Pierce and Brittany O'Connell have sworn that it was her actions that disturbed the spirits.
Nonsense. How could they be certain of
Her foul words, odd moods. She led the girls into the graveyard on a lark. The other day at night, she became agitated and reacted as if she'd seen a ghost. I do not find it far-fetched to believe that she has brought this calamity upon us.
You are mistaken, headmistress. Emily has a good heart.
I am never mistaken, Miss Bronte. Our school is in a precarious position. If we do not open soon, I fear our creditors will foreclose. Your plan, then, of succeeding me will be in ruins.
It is your plan that I succeed you.
Which you have readily agreed to. I have placed George Wadsworth in your path.
I have no desire to marry George Wadsworth.
Then you are as foolish as your sister. He has little income, it's true, but what else will you do with your life, Charlotte? Esteeming yourself too highly is a guarantee for misery. It is what Emily does and why she will never know the joy of a happy marriage. I have written to your father. She was to return to Haworth.
You're expelling her?
I am sending her home permanently for the benefit of all.
But if that does not appease the phantom,
Then all of us will join her.
You could come with me, you know.
I don't think that's a good idea. We could say that you're a long-lost cousin, and now that we've become acquainted, that we can't bear to be parted.
That sounds delightful.
Is your father written already?
I'd rather face 100 phantoms than my father.
It'll be okay. Maybe we can ask your father to venture into the graveyard, and he can frighten the phantoms to death.
The phantom's already dead, Alice. That's what makes it a phantom.
Oh, right.
you have to come see this. One of the children has declared that he will live as a pig. It's chaos. Is everything okay?
I am not much for merriment at the moment.
We are mourning the demise of the school.
The school's not dead. It will be for me. I can't believe I'll be allowed to return if I went back.
Perhaps there's hope.
What if we concocted a story, said that you fled to the countryside, and could write it? She's always inventing stories.
I could write it. What would you write? Do you wish to flee with a handsome young man, or are you striking out for adventure? Can it be both? And if your father were to chase after you, he would find that a pirate named John the Pirate has captured you. And he has the readiest sword in the 7 seas. It may work. I agree. Let us hide you. I don't know. Would you even be able to push him back or fight him?
I was ready to fight the phantom. Surely I can fight a man of flesh and blood.
He's not made of flesh and blood. He's made out of thorns and armor.
I'll pierce with my ready wit.
Pierce. It's a name. Georgina Pierce.
Right.
Where do I know that from? I must go.
But we're not finished with the story.
It is odd to be in this place when there is still sunlight.
A ghost may appear in the daylight just as readily as the moonlight.
May I have the glasses?
No.
But I should like to have them to see what may be seen.
A great many things may be seen, but that doesn't mean one ought to see them.
Now you sound like Charlotte. Oh, please impart another life lesson on me, dear sister. You wouldn't even know of the name Pierce if it weren't for me. I was the one who remembered what Mr. Jacoby said.
Pierce's, yes.
Do you suppose Jordan is related?
We shall soon find out.
Do you see anything?
There are presences here.
Are there many of them?
Be quiet, Anne.
Looking for my tombstones?
Cliff!
Who's Cliff?
I wasn't looking for your tombstone. I was...
Who are you talking to?
Be quiet, Anne. I am speaking to the spirit of a boy who died in the flower of his youth.
And his name is Cliff? He sounds dangerous, like one might jump off him.
Anne!
Is he handsome?
He is dead. Be quiet.
Very well, but I shall require updates.
Here, my final resting place.
You were 15. No family name?
I was an orphan, rescued from the kindness of an older gentleman.
Your benefactor. Was his name Pierce?
Edgar Pierce, yes. And he had a son.
He became your brother. And he was a cruel and wicked man who wasted a fortune in drink.
He was never my brother, ever. John Pierce hated me. He was bitter rival for my father's affections, and after the old man died, I was treated as little more than vermin.
Is that why you are restless?
You're full of questions.
Cliff, I believe that the angry spirit haunting the school is one of the unhappy Pierces who once resided in the house. Perhaps by coincidence, or perhaps not, there is a girl at the school who also bears the name Pierce. If I may interview the spirit, I may be able to discover why it is so angry.
You will get no answers from John Pierce, my enemy, my foster brother. He envied me and the love his sister bore me.
Your foster sister?
I've spoken too much.
Is that why you are restless? How did you die? Isn't that how it works? When a person's life...
I had a purpose. What greater purpose can a person have than to love? You are like the others, full of judgment and cruelty.
I have no wish to be cruel to you.
Your presence is cruel enough. You remind me of her.
Oh.
What's going on?
Be quiet, Anne. Be quiet, and don't go too near any of the tombstones. There are ghosts at each one.
There are?
Of course there are. That's why we're here. Take me to John Pierce, please.
If I show you John Pierce, will you come back and talk to me again?
I promise.
Demon! Show yourself.
Who disturbs my rest?
You deserve no rest, villain.
You wish to torment me further, whelp.
I torment you?
My name is Emily Bronte.
You shouldn't say your name. It gives them power.
That is fairies, not ghosts.
I know Emily Bronte. Then you are of no importance to me.
The house is important to me. I live here now.
The house is lost.
Do you haunt it?
I haunted it when I was alive. I'm more ghost than man in those days. My only regret is that I failed to burn it to the ground. I would have gladly burned with it. I'm bored. You bore me. Be gone.
Did you have children? There's
Something's
a girl at the
wrong.
school by the name of Pierce.
She is no descendant of mine.
Your sister, then. You had a sister?
You seek my fortune. You will not get it.
So the rumors are true, then?
I think I heard something. Something's wrong.
If it's not you, then who is it?
I will answer no more questions. Which? Emily!
Capital! I apologize. That was truly awful. Not at all. You have a very sprightly way with your fingers, like little elves. They dance on the strings.
Not elves, rather ogres.
If your fingers were ogres, I would still cherish them.
Mr. Wadsworth, have you ever courted a woman?
No. Instruct me how to woo you properly.
Well, if I have a hard time enough educating small children, how difficult can it be educating a full-grown man?
I confess I received poor marks in school, but surely, with an educator such as yourself, I would do excellently.
Good. Well, all right. Lesson number 1. Lower your temperature. It is terrible. I do not need to be praised for every little thing I do. My fingers are quite plain.
They're quite beautiful, though.
Stop!
Put your face.
No, too much!
Fine. Put your personality.
Oh, make conversation, man. I get that for some inexplicable reason you're drunk. Oh, dear.
You burn me.
Mr. Wadsworth.
George.
Mr. Wadsworth, perhaps you could begin by asking me simple questions.
Will you marry me?
Not that question!
When do you suppose you'll become headmistress?
I do not suppose I shall ever become headmistress.
Miss Fulton is quite old, and with the difficulties the school is experiencing, you are her natural successor.
Which difficulties?
It's clear there have been some disturbances here. Earlier today, I saw a carriage picking up some of the younger children.
Seems like a poor omen. You spoke with the headmistress?
Yes, and she mentioned, the phantom. Fear not. Though I appear fragile, I am brave.
You would fight it?
I would take arms against a sea of troubles.
Well, Mr. Wadsworth, I believe I must be going.
But we've only just begun, and I have many sweets for you. My mother made them. Chocolates.
I'm sure they're delightful.
Well, actually, let me remove a few that are unwise to taste. My mother tries, but she's quite dreadful at this sort of thing. I described you to her in great detail. She wrote you a note. Here, read it.
Dearest Charlotte, I feel that I may use your first name since we are destined to be good friends. Your love for George is inspirational, your work amongst orphans is commendable, and I especially wish you success with your plan to produce many babies with George. Thank you for the chocolates, but I must go.
Whatever you wish, I will be it. 9 babies, 0 babies, any number, any between. Merely agree to be my bride, and you shall have anything you desire. I'm not wealthy, but I have a modest income, and honestly, in your position, you can do no better.
Good day, Mr. Wadsworth.
Charlotte!
Good day, Mr. Wadsworth.
Good day.
I smelled it too. I can only hope the fashionable clothes before dinner.
Drink by yourself. Look what I found completely unguarded.
The headmistress is around.
The headmistress has other concerns. Surely if we're all to die, it is best to have proper wine in our bellies. My brother is coming for me, but it will take him 2 days, as he is the slowest man ever to ride a horse.
2 days?
Or 3. He may get distracted on the way and fall into a ditch with a certain maid. My brother is abominable. Do you have any brothers?
There you are.
Oh, goody, our friends.
I was not hiding.
I believe we may have discovered something.
A clue!
A clue to what?
To the identity of the phantom. What do you know of your grandmother?
What do you know of your grandmother?
Your family name is Pierce.
Please do explain my family to me.
This is important, Georgina. There was a man by the name of Pierce who once owned his house. He had a son, a daughter, and a foster child. The son and foster child are dead and buried in the graveyard. The daughter, however, has no plot.
Haven't you poked around in the cemetery enough? Are you hoping to rouse more spirits? Do we not have enough at the moment?
Georgina, your grandmother,
She died many years ago.
was her name Pierce? I know you do not share gifts in regards to mental speed,
But if my grandmother's name was Pierce, why would my family name be Pierce?
It would be if your grandmother was unmarried.
I think you better go before I thrash you.
Are you threatening my sister? Put this to your word, girl. Try something.
And?
I'm not as gentle as Emily. I will dispense of you like a snake shedding its skin. Now this is interesting. What is the meaning of this? It was not me, it was her.
Emily has made the most appalling insults.
I heard them.
Have you pilfered another bottle of wine?
No,
I see it!
you're mistaken.
I will deal with you shortly.
And Emily with me.
But now! Did you think you were going to get into a fist fight with a classmate?
That was me.
And this is a school. We're here to educate you into womanhood.
We're here to discover the truth about the identity of the Phantom.
We've made discoveries. Emily spoke with the dead.
What?
It's really extraordinary. Mother's glasses have.
And you stole Mother's glasses?
I needed them.
I forbade you from investigating this further to protect you. I speak up for you. I'm determined to see you prosper.
You care only about being headmistress.
I care nothing about being headmistress. I care for you. I care for us.
Then help us.
No, these are the things that killed our mother and our sister. And you know nothing. You were only 4. I remember their faces. I do. Only me. And I'll see to it that the remaining of you do not die.
Everything is under control.
Hello? What was that?
That is Mr. Jacoby.
What is Mr. Jacoby?
He's a spirit.
You killed the lady pudding?
It was an accident.
You stole someone's immortal spirit and imprisoned it in your dinner?
Emily wanted to feed him to a dog.
Not now.
Give me the glasses.
No.
Oh dear.
They are broken. Get out.
The headmistress wishes to
I
explain.
do not care. Leave.
Elizabeth's father's here. You must help now.
What are you doing here, lad?
I should ask you the same questions.
Where's the Brighton girl? Her father wishes me to fetch her. Can't be bothered with coming itself.
It is the most extraordinary thing. She ran off not 20 minutes ago with a pirate.
Where is the lass?
I just told you, she ran off with a pirate. They are sure to be happy together. I caution after chasing them, though. I hear he has a ready blade.
You are a wicked liar, a marauding
Seamus, in less than an eye blink, my sister will be headmistress here. How do you propose you keep your job when you insist on insulting me at every turn? Furthermore, I know that you have heard the rumors about me. I am potent in the black arts. And if you insist on trifling with me, I will make sure you know just how potent. Elizabeth is not going with that man.
Yes, Miss Bronte.
Tell him that.
I will. Oh no, they're going to find us here.
Be quiet. Emily's telling the story of the pirate. They shouldn't find us.
Oh, good.
Well, she believed the story about Elizabeth.
Truly?
We may be safe. Or not.
You really should cover your tracks, Emily. You were easy to follow.
Are you planning on betraying Elizabeth as well?
No, I rather approve of your scheme to rescue Elizabeth.
Then what are you doing here?
I came here to apologize.
I'll not hear it.
I think you should.
You may not think it, but what I've done to protect you. The truth is, I'm terrified. I've been more your mother than your sister these past 13 years, and I cannot bear the thought of you ever leaving me. You see, I envy you. Your bravery, your will, your belief that with the right hook and genius, you could solve every problem you face. I wish I was that brave enough to seek the truth and save you.
Will you help us then?
Yes, I love you.
You know I love you.
And I love you both!
This is so beautiful. And I will love love you even if you do marry that twit.
George Wadsworth is banished. Not 10 minutes ago, I witnessed him embracing Georgina Pierce.
He did what?
Yes, you could tell there was some tenderness and familiarity between the two.
No! God!
You say he knew Georgina?
Yes, it was the most...
It makes sense. It all makes sense. I know how we can stop the Phantom, and I will require all of your help, whatever you need. We will begin when Elizabeth's father has departed.
At dusk? No! No! Hey, quiet! What is this?
Let me see. Aha!
Huh? Wait, what? What are you doing? Come on now.
Children, please, if we could calm down for a moment.
I am not frightened. I'm a queen. You are nothing of the sort.
Please calm down, children.
The dust irritates my nose
I know, Drake.
because it's wet.
Unfortunately, it is quite dusty. There's not much I can do. I thought you said their guardians would be here soon?
That was a ruse. I'm afraid the children are really baked for the Phantom.
You mean to tell me that we are... Did you just shush me?
One is with chaos, one is the beacon of order.
Miss Bronte,
I said shush, headmistress, and I will not be repeating myself. Is it ready?
I believe so.
I was led to believe that Miss Brighton had run off with...
Another fiction, I'm afraid.
I believe you will find the Phantom is a fiction as well.
I knew ghosts weren't real.
Oh no, ghosts are very real indeed, but usually they're nothing to be afraid of, which is why I was so confused. The truth of the matter is, of course, that the Phantom is merely a ruse intended to take possession of Rowhead School, one perpetrated by a newcomer in our midst, George Wadsworth.
Did I hear my name? You have to fight! Death is the reward for your impertinence! I bring calamity and woe! Unladylike.
Now let's see who the Phantom truly is.
Oh, Miss Pierce!
But she was there when the Phantom first appeared.
Oh yes, Georgina was there in both instances that the Phantom appeared, and in both instances she was the one to signal that the Phantom was about to arrive, because she was working with her brother, George Pierce.
Oh my, no.
George Pierce.
George. Very clever. And thank you for finally calling me George. George and Georgina? Not very original with those names.
George and Georgina were the children of the first George Pierce, who was the son, out of wedlock, of the daughter of this house, who fell in love and fled. They regarded the fortune in this house by theirs by right, or by marriage.
George was particularly clumsy with his attempts to woo me in hopes that I might become headmistress, an event which he was too hopeful for, and in scaring you into retirement with the Phantom.
I confess, that was my true plan. But I was overcome by your immense beauty.
I do not care.
One moment. You planned this whole thing.
And you didn't think to include us?
And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for the meddling Bronte sisters.
I thought we were friends.
This house by right is mine. Ours. Not at all. When your grandmother fled, the estate was in debt and sold to found a school. The fortune, such as it is, belongs to Miss Woolton.
Ooh, her treasure?
Elizabeth, I'll go get it.
I was convinced that Seamus was the Phantom. That was my working theory.
John Pierce was a cruel man who wasted his fortune, but he did have one thing he regarded more highly than gold.
It's a recipe.
Pea soup, I believe.
I believe Emily has the right to stay.
Of course you may stay.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment of you wanting me to offer this mistress. However, I am not built to take care of small children. I won't take anything. Latin, Greek, just keep me away from the children.
Perhaps I shall teach them?
Perhaps.
Come along then. More bouncing and we'll celebrate with another goose.
Cliff, I wonder if you can hear me. I just wanted to say, I wish you peace.
Anne told me you were in love with a handsome ghost.
I am not in love with anything. Anne invents things. Perhaps this might help?
Hello.
Jacoby? Yes, I thought he could communicate with the ghosts for you.
I'm a good talker.
Well, will you tell Cliff that I wish him peace?
She wishes you peace. Uh-huh. Yup.
What does he
Right.
say?
He's asking for you to stand on your head.
Very well.
He says he's joking.
Right.
He says goodbye.
Goodbye, Cliff.
Are we ready to bury Mr. Jacoby?
Let's. And no more summoning ghosts.
But we will have more adventures, right?
Yes, we will. We shall.
Thank you for coming this evening, and I want you to give a big hand to our backstage crew.